I was recording this entire time. Okay, anyway, I'm doing my macaroni and cheese. I'm doing fried chicken, also neck bones. I'm going to put either black eyed peas in that or lima beans. And this is Sade here. Here, rinse off my spoon. Those are my drumsticks that I have that I'm going to fry today. I normally bake a lot, but I'm going to fry those today. I put some water in this pot. I put a little salt, a little pepper. As I said earlier when I thought I was recording, you don't have to add salt. I just do for a little flavor. I'm actually cutting back on a lot of salt, so I just literally did less than a teaspoon of salt and just a little pepper. And then the trick so the noodles won't stick, I put a little canola oil. It's organic canola oil. I forget where I get that from, but I'm sure you can get it at any local grocery store. And then I got my Muller's elbow noodles. I always pronounce them Muller's because my mom did. I'm not even sure if that's the way you pronounce it. But you don't have to use this brand. You can use any sort of elbow noodles or shell noodles, however you would like, or whatever you would like to use. I put them in before it starts boiling, just so they can start getting tender. And you know, I stir it occasionally so it won't stick. So I'm going to let those boil for a few minutes. Everybody's stove is different. You have a gas stove, it may boil a little faster if you have it on medium heat or high. I just turn it on high just to get it to going, and then I turn it down to about 8, because my stove, you have to have it on high numbers to get it hot. If I put it on medium, it'll just stop altogether. It'll take hours to boil. So I'm going to let this boil, and I'm going to get my flour and my chicken ready in a bowl, and I will come right back and let you know what seasonings I put in it. Hello YouTube, I am back. I just wanted to show you guys that I'm washing off my drumsticks. I put the water on warm and cold. I don't play about raw meat. I wash it off. I know I'm doing it with one hand now. I just want to show you a little bit. I'm going to pause this video and come back to you, but I'm going to use 2 hands and thoroughly wash my meat. While that's rinsing off, I'm going to show you I still got my elbow noodles boiling. I turned it down to in the middle of 7 and 8 like I told you. They're not sticking. I just stirred them up. They're not done yet, but they're getting there. You know, they're still hard. They're getting tender slowly. This is my flour seasoning mix. I put, you know, just your average Pillsbury self-rising flour. I eyeballed it, how much I thought I would need for my drumstick. I put in this Yardbird chicken spice that I got from our local, we call it the meat house. It's called Hopkins. That's here in Sanford, Florida. And I put in ground black pepper and just a tad bit of paprika. So that's what I did for my flour mix. And my noodles again are boiling. And I'm about to finish washing my chicken off, my drumsticks. And I will be back. Alright guys, I am back. As you can see, the macaroni elbow noodles are good and tender. They're perfect. At least this is the way I like them. If you guys would like to cook them a little more or a little less, it's up to you. But I think this is the perfect way to do macaroni and cheese. I don't like my noodles all soggy or whatnot. So by me using one hand, bear with me here. I'm going to turn this on low. No, you know, I'm going to leave it there because I need to use this eye. But I'm about to strain my noodles. I'm straining my macaroni noodles. Yes, forgive me for using one hand here. Get all the excess water off. Sorry for all the fog. But also, I didn't show you all. Give me the cheese, the shredded cheese out here, and the block cheese, which I should have already had this heating up. That's what I'm about to use this eye. I poured a little milk in here. I would say about a cup and a half, 2 cups. And what I'm going to do, which I didn't already have prepared, this is my first cooking video, but I am about to cut up some of this medium cheddar Kraft block cheese, and then I'm going to mix it with this Mexican style blend, and then I also have some other cheeses. I'm going to mix it up with some Velveeta shreds original. So I'm gonna cut this up in cubes, and I'll be right back to show you how I make my cheese sauce that I'm gonna put in my macaroni and cheese. I'll be back. Alright YouTube, I'm back. I cut some of that Kraft block cheese in squares, and I have my milk here heating up, and I have my Mexican style blend, shredded cheese that I'm about to blend in there as well, and my Velveeta shreds. So I'm going to show you. Hopefully I won't splash and burn myself. I'm going to dump this up. I drop one. Dump that in there, and I'm going to get this. I'm eating it. I'm not serving it to y'all, so. And my shredded, Mexican style blend shredded. And I'm going to dump a little of the Velveeta. Probably, I might do all of that, yeah. It's only a little left anyway. So, hey, just like the rapper Plies said, don't laugh at my pots and pans. I do got pretty sets that match. But, he said, if you have some pretty pots and pans in your kitchen, I don't trust your cooking. He had a lid that didn't match and all, something like this. He had a pot like this and a top like this. He was like, if you got lids that match, I don't trust your cooking. This is how you know a real cook. They do with what they got. So, I am going to stir this. So I'm doing it with one hand so I can't hold my pot. But I'm going to wait for that to melt. This is just basically making a cheese sauce to pour inside my macaroni and cheese. And then I am saving the rest of that Mexican style shredded cheese blend, I'm sorry, to coat the top of my macaroni and cheese to make the crust. Alrighty, and I still have my noodles over here in the dish strainer. I'm going to show you real quick. I have my drumsticks here that I already washed off. My flour seasoned blend. I'm going to go ahead and start coating these. And some of these are really big. I don't like my drumsticks really, really big. Or they look like turkey legs or dog legs or something like that. Hope this is chicken I'm eating and feeding to my children and my fiance, Mr. Solo. Well, his name is Solomon, but we call him Solo. And we got a 4-month-old we just had. Her name is Soleil. So, when you think about it, she's kind of named after both of us. Solo and Sade. Soleil. S-O-L-E accent. So, alright, I got these coated. And what I meant to do, I meant to season these a little bit more, even though I had seasoning in the flour. So these are going to stay like that. I'm going to rinse my hands off and come over here and put a little bit more seasoning on these drumsticks. Then I'm going to start heating my grease, and I'll be back. Okay, everybody, I'm back. My cheese sauce is heated up. I'm going to sit it in the sink because I'm working with one hand here. I'm working with a matzo. As you can see, it's all creamy. I could have got it a little more thickened, but it'll thicken once it's in the oven. Since I was working with one hand, I can only show you guys after, but I put about a half of stick of butter into my noodles and 2 large eggs. And now I am going to pour my cheese sauce inside the noodles and then give it all a mixture. Well, you know what? I might go ahead and stir my egg first. Let me try to do this, sorry, with one hand to get that mixed up in there really good. And the butter, if it's not melted, it will also melt once it's in the oven. And yeah, I have that little spoon with the cheese on it, so over here it's all going into the same thing anyway. So I want to go ahead and mix that egg up. I don't want it to sit there and fry. And have a sunny side up egg on top of your mac and cheese. Okay. I also, Mike, can you please get me the sour cream out of the fridge? My daughters are making videos as well, so that's why I don't have them helping me with the video. And I have to train them how to be the camera person. So, she's opening this up for me. Some Daisy sour cream. I just got a pound of it. 16 ounces. Can you hold it over here for me so I can show them how much I'm getting? I just love sour cream, so I'm getting, I don't know how many tablespoons that is. I would say about 4 or 5 tablespoons. Sour cream just gives it that kick for me. I don't know, it just does something for me. I love it. I actually got that from my mom one day. She had made some mac and cheese and asked me to taste it, and I told her I liked it, and she told me her secret, which was the sour cream. And I had never heard of that before, so I'm wondering if I've eaten it before with sour cream and didn't know it. I know I've eaten all kind of wild animals and didn't know it when I was younger. I'm from the South, so, and I still live in the South. I've eaten possum, raccoon, frog legs, and rabbit. And when they say everything tastes like chicken, everything actually tastes like chicken. Or I wonder if chicken tastes like possum. Just because chicken is common, that doesn't mean it tastes like chicken. Chicken can actually taste like the other animal. Okay, enough of running my mouth. So now, remember I'm working with one hand, so I'm going to pour my cheese sauce in. Stir some of this up. Let me take this spoon out here. Put it in my dish strainer. Mix up my cheese sauce. Oh, that looks so good. Like Emerald used to say, I wish we had smell-o-vision so you can see how good this smells. Oh my goodness. Of course, I'm once I pause the video, I'm gonna be able to hold it and thoroughly stir it to get it all mixed up in there. And I probably could have used, I should have used the whole box of noodles, but it's okay. Still gonna be good either way. I might have enough cheese. but my fiance likes it very cheesy. So that's what I'm doing here. And remember, I had the rest of that shredded Mexican style blend over there to top it off. And for some reason, I like to put black pepper on the top. I don't know why. I've always liked doing that. So let me pause it, stir this really good, and I'll come right back. Okay, I'm back. I am going to top this. Oh, I'm making a mess. With the Mexican style blend all across the pan. And I wash my hands after I touch everything. Well, rinse them off rather, unless they're really, really dirty, or I have like flour on my hand, which is hard to come off. This is going to be a cheesy, cheesy mac and cheese. Make sure I get that corners really good, what the crust is. Some people like their topping like really brown. Only time mine gets like that is if I forget about it. I kind of like to try to make it perfect, but there's no such thing as perfect. So, get my black pepper. And I'm not a lefty, my fiance is, but put some black pepper on the top of that. And guess what, y'all? I didn't even have my oven preheating. Right before you started your mixture and poured your cheese on it, you should have had the oven preheating at 350. And then go ahead and put your mac and cheese in there. So I am now still working with one hand here. I got my chicken mix. And remember, these 3 pieces were the ones that just went into the flour, the seasoned flour. I didn't have it seasoned, pre-seasoned already like I did those. And that's just a regular brown paper bag that I have that sitting on. It's like, why waste those when I get them from the grocery store instead of using paper towels? And then with your tongs, you just lay your drumsticks in there. You want your grease really, really hot, but not where it's going to start popping you. Oh, I used to hate getting popped with grease in the kitchen. I stand about 10 feet back. Kind of like I'm doing now. But I have it on 7 now, but like I said, my stove is funny acting. If I turn it down any lower, I guarantee you it's going to stop, the grease is going to stop boiling like that. Then it's just going to be sitting in grease. So it's kind of tricky. But I'll be back. I'm going to put my mac and cheese in the oven. And then I don't know if I'm going to do my beans on this video as well. I'm just showing you how to do the fried chicken and mac and cheese. I may and I may not. But we'll see. I'll be back. Okay, y'all, I am also doing a pan of cornbread. I already put my 1 egg in there and just about a teaspoon of canola oil so it won't stick. And I'm using just plain on Jiffy corn muffin mix. I can make homemade cornbread, but I'm doing it the quick way today. And you also... I'm sorry, I'm working with one hand here. And that's my chicken frying if you hear it over there. I might have burnt those first 3 pieces. So that's why I'm not going to show y'all. Keep it real, I might have burnt them. The grease probably was heating a little bit too long, but I'm going to keep a close eye on the others. Okay, and when you're doing the cornbread, you want it the consistency of cake mix. You don't want it all watery and you don't want it too thick. You want to get all the clumps out of there. And make sure you mix your eggs very well. And you don't have to use milk. I just like to use milk. You can also use water. So as you can see, it's still a little thick, but I only need probably about a teaspoon more of milk, not much. Because if you get it too watery, then you're going to have to add more milk. So if you're not sure, just do a little bit at a time. And then it won't hurt just to throw a little bit of cornmeal or flour in there in the jiffy mix if you don't have any more cornbread mix. So I'm going to go ahead and mix this, put it in the pan, and put it in the oven. And I will be back to show you the finishing touches of the mac and cheese. Okay, y'all, I am back. Yeah, my chicken's a little burnt. And I got my last 4 dog legs in there. I mean drumsticks. They're big like dog legs or turkey legs or whatever you want to call it. Looks like a Rottweiler's legs, if you ask me. Y'all remember that movie The Help, when the character Minnie, the one that shit in the pie, said Minnie don't burn no chicken. I was wondering, I'm like, is that even possible? Unless you're in a restaurant and deep frying it in like 1,000-degree grease. Like, how do you not burn it? I have to make sure mine is not pink in the middle. So if I have to get a little dark crust, that's fine. It's still edible, and I'm going to eat it. And I just use some leftover newspaper. Like I said, saves you money from buying paper towels, in which I still have paper towels in my bathrooms. And but I use newspaper to drain the grease off. And when you take the chicken out of the pan, make sure you have your tongs and you know, hold the chicken up and drain as much grease off as you can, and then put it on your newspaper or paper towel. I have my leftover flour and seasoning. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep this. Normally I just dump it out down in the garbage disposal and rinse it out and put it in the dishwasher, because I'm not sure if I'm going to want this same seasoning for the next meal I cook. So I'll decide that in a minute if I'm going to keep that or not. But I wanted to show y'all that's my junky pantry. Let me check on my mac and cheese. My cornbread is rising. And my mac and cheese is almost crusted at the top. And after my cornbread is golden brown, I do get a stick of butter and go over it, over the top layer. And when you are finished, you just let it cool down and serve. And that's about it, y'all. So this video is already too long, my first video. So I wish I can just show you guys. I might stick around and show you guys how it looks once I cut it, the mac and cheese. So yeah, I'll do that. Okay guys, there is the finished mac and cheese. I am going to need my daughter's help to get this out of the oven, so I can cut it open and show you guys, get the dish rag over there, show you guys how it looks on the inside. Get that other end. Let me know when you got it. You got it? Over here. Alright. Then, as you all know, once you turn the oven off, it still cooks. So, I'm going to turn my oven off now and let my cornbread still get a little golden. Can you get me a small plate, please? I'm going to rinse my knife off so I can cut it to show you guys here. Do you have time to hold this now? Get in here so they can see where I'm cutting it. And I am using the cheap aluminum pans. And see, you're really supposed to let it cool down. I'm going to have to get my spatula. once it cools down, it can form. Just as if you were baking a cake. Look at that cheese. Mmm. Once it forms, it'll stick together more like a cake. But that's how it looks. Alright guys. I will see you later. That is the ending of my video. Sorry it was so long. Once I learn to edit and do everything, it'll be better. Thank you.